Bold prediction for season 2 of Star Trek Discovery, Cameron. Are we going more episodic than we were in season 1?
No.
Why don't you think that?
Alex Kurtzman has said it'll be just as episodic, or just as serialized the second round.
I have a sense, though, that they realized that a lot more of their strengths were in the smaller moments. I also point to the short treks, where I think we're getting a lot of these very strong short treks. I think so far there's only been about one misfire, and it wasn't even that bad of a misfire.
No.
I think they must recognize, though, that, look, it's not... I know Kurtzman might say it's going to be just as serialized. That's also just part of marketing, though.
Sure.
I think there's a very good chance that we are going to get more of these kind of like one-off sort of stories, and maybe the ongoing serialized story is going to be more of a B story,
right?
Whereas we're going to get a lot more A stories that are actually more of kind of like, hey, let's go see what's happening on this one planet. Let's go time travel a little bit more. Because look, point to an episode like Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad.
Yeah.
I think that was Star Trek Discovery at its zenith in season 1, and that is their most episodic.
Do they know that?
They
talked up CV Pacem Parabellum a lot. I have not heard them mention that episode very much.
And the other thing that kind of concerns me, maybe go to IMDb and take a look at what the audience scores are.
Yeah.
It's kind of middle of the road, Magic.
Yep.
And you and I, it's actually our favorite episode, and you and I rarely agree on anything.
It's true.
So, another prediction for season 2 of Star Trek Discovery. Do you think that they could be planting seeds for a Pike spinoff on the old 1701, Cam?
Yes.
Okay, why do you think that?
Because I feel like with the casting, you've got Anson Mount, who's a very well-known TV actor, maybe not famous, but well-established and been in a lot of TV shows. You have Rebecca Romaine. You have a new Spock. You're telling me they're just casting their Spock to use in Discovery?
2 episodes.
Yeah.
See you later, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I feel like a spin-off with Pike and that crew is coming. They're greenlighting, at least developing spin-offs for, it seems like, every character in Star Trek right now. I do feel like this is a very good chance, and I feel like this season could be a bit of a backdoor pilot.
Okay, so how much time do we actually spend on the 1701 in season 2, though? I don't think it's actually going to be that much.
That's the funny thing, because, you look at the third trailer for Discovery Season 2 just came out recently, and we've seen 3 trailers now for this show, and there's a lot of stuff about Red Angels and Spock and all that sort of stuff. But when you look back at the trailers for Discovery Season 1, it was all about the opening 2-episode premiere. So how much Red Angel stuff are we getting versus an entire season?
You know what? The Red Angel thing, it's just their more episodic take, Cam. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Okay, you and I, we actually had this conversation off the air, but what do you think would be a good possibility of a name for this spinoff if it does come to fruition?
Yeah, because I think you said maybe Star Trek 1701 is a...
That was my worst...
That was the best one you had.
No.
He was like, I've thought this one. I was up all night thinking about it.
The one that I actually like, though, is Star Trek Constitution. Constitution, like, it's not going to be like a marketer's dream, but I think it has so many different meanings to it, both in the canon of Star Trek, but also just what it means day to day, just kind of the constitution of oneself. If it's a character-based drama, I think that Star Trek Constitution, it might work. It seems a little bit more like middle school, civics class, but I'm kind of down for that. I think it makes the most sense thematically, because they already took Star Trek Enterprise, right?
Yeah, I know. I wonder if they're going to go with something kind of generic, like, I don't know, like Star Trek Legacy or something like that. Like some sort of... Because it's tough. You can't even say, like, original crew or something because you had Robert April first. Like, it's not even like Pike's the first one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they're kind of stuck in no man's land.
Okay, Star Trek original crew...
I'm a marketer's dream, people.
Yeah. One final prediction from me. I think L'Rell will be bumped up to a main cast member.
Ooh. Okay, well, that's been really interesting because we've seen only a few glimpses of L'Rell in the the trailers so far. Just brief looks. I think the Klingon stuff's going to come way more into play than they are showing early on.
Yeah.
Because I think, when you look at where the Klingon Empire was at the end of the first season of Discovery, there's a lot of ground to cover there. What is Ash Tyler doing? He went with L'Rell back to Kronos. So something is happening with Klingon stuff that they are not showing us at all. They're not even showing us, like, barely any Ash Tyler at all in these trailers.
Yeah. But there's a notable... I think it's a bit of a spoiler if you haven't seen the trailer, but Ash Tyler is back in his Discovery uniform.
Yeah.
I don't know how to interpret that because I think they actually left him in the perfect place where he was going back with L'Rell being her, number one go-to, advisor. I think that's a much better place for him than him, I don't know, somehow being wedged into the crew after it's been revealed he's actually like a double agent.
Right.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Cam, any final predictions from you?
Yeah, I got two. I'm going to start with a smaller one and then go to a big one. So I think
Start small.
So I'll start small, as we always do on the podcast.
Yes.
It takes us a long time to get to the good stuff. So
yes,
I mean,
everybody's still waiting for you to get there.
So I think we're going to see a new role for Stamets on the show.
Okay.
Because you look at the Spore Drive, I think they've kind of used that up for now.
Do you even know what his job was in season 1?
No, I have no idea.
It said on the console he was chief engineer, but he was wearing the science department's uniform the entire time. So.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see him in some sort of new role in season 2. We haven't seen him in trailers doing anything really that noticeable. And what does this character do without a Spore Drive? That, to me, is going to be interesting to find out, because I think he's a great character. He was really popped in season 1, so I'd like to see him. I'm wondering if there's going to be a little bit of, not the same thing, but kind of like Chekhov in Into Darkness, where they didn't show him any of the marketing because he had the red shirt and he's in engineering. It's something completely different. I'm hoping for something like that from Stamets. So, the big one, I think Prime Lorca's coming back.
Okay, I think... the way
I think it maybe is the cliffhanger or something like that.
Okay, I think where we
3.
left him off, I think there's more ground to cover, and I think if you have somebody in your back pocket like Jason Isaacs, why not bring him back? I think despite the twist that you and I did not like, we can get into that on the podcast, but I think the fact of the matter is Jason Isaacs sold that character, and even if he's a bit of a different version, the version that we did see on the series, he was trying to play the version that other people were familiar with.
Yes.
So I think there's actually like a lot of fun stuff that they can do with the Prime Lorca, maybe with some back and forth between him and Giorgio.
Right.
I would like to see that, yes.
Yeah, and I mean, it would be interesting to see him and Cornwell together again.
Yeah.
So I'm down for that.
Cornwell's down for that too, if you know what I mean.